To open an existing QGIS file, first click the Open. Then go to one of your QGIS project files to open it. Next, what we're going to do is save the file. You can do save as, which will save it under a new name, or you can do save, which will save the file. Lastly, when you need a blank file, just click New. There are two different ways to add a shapefile. The first and most direct is to use your browser. Go to the Home option and navigate to where you have your shapefiles stored. Double click on the shapefile and it will add it to your map. The second way is to click Add Vector Layer. You want it to be a file. Then you must browse to your folder with your shapefiles. And remember that a shapefile is actually a combination of many files. So when we see it here in the browser, it just says .shp. When we see it here from the navigation of the Add Vector, you have to actually click only the .shp file. First, we will look at how to pan. There's two different pan types in QGIS. The first one's called touch, zoom, and pan. What you do is you hold in the left click and you move around the mouse, and you can move the map around this way. Also, if you click in once, you will zoom in to the area that you are clicked on. Click in twice and you'll zoom further. The pan option just only allows you to pan the map, moving it around. There's a few different zoom options. First one we'll look at is zoom in. Zoom in, you can either click on a point or you can draw a box that will allow you to zoom into that box. Zoom out works the same way. You can either click or you can draw a box to zoom out. This is called zoom full, which will take you to the full extent of the map. To use this select feature in QGIS, you must first select one of the layers that you wish to make a selection on. So what we will do is we will select the path layer, which is a layer that has trails in this area. Next, we will click on the select features, and right now I have the by rectangle on, but there's other options that you can use to select features with. We'll do a select by single feature. So here you can see this road has been highlighted in yellow because it has been selected. I can select more than one feature by holding in the control as I click the other feature. Same thing if I want to only deselect one feature after selecting many, I can keep holding down the control and click on a feature that has already been selected. If you want to deselect everything, there is a button called Deselect Features from All Layers. Click that and it will deselect everything. Bookmarks are very important in GIS. They allow you to save places that you have been working on. An example of how to bookmark is I will use the zoom in tool to zoom in to the area named Galu. I will then use the new bookmark and save this as Galu. Next, I will try to navigate away from here using zoom full to zoom to the full extent. And then I will go to show bookmarks, click on my bookmark, and click zoom to. And this zooms me exactly to the same spot that I had bookmarked before. And you can have many bookmarks for different places that you need. In QGIS, it is very easy to edit the attribute table information. So open your attribute table. If you need to make a new column, click this new column button. Make a name for your new column and specify the type. Whole number is going to be a whole number, a decimal number is a decimal number. Text allows you to input text, a date. It's pretty straightforward. When you do this, you have to actually specify the exact type of information, because if I try to do whole number and then I type in letters, it's not going to allow me to do that. So we're going to pick text for this. We're going to choose the width to be 5, and then we're going to go straight in and double click on the feature that we want to change. We say yes. And if I try to type in something over 5, it won't let me. And this is because I specified that I wanted a string of 5 characters and spaces count. Two other very important tools to use in QGIS are the identify and annotate tools. The first one, identify, allows you to identify a single feature. So we're going to ask to identify this feature here. Identify results will show up in the browser, and you can see here the name is Parveen Shop. All the attribute table information about this point showing up. The other thing is annotate, and this is actually how I've been creating each of these little blurbs. So you just say create annotation, click, and then double click inside of there. When you want to change what the annotation says, you want to highlight it, type something else in, highlight it, and change the size, bold, italicize. You can even change the marker. You can change the color of the frame. There are two ways to edit features within a shapefile. The first way is to do it by selection. First thing you need to do to edit a feature is select it and click toggle editing. Then you can do the select single feature, select one feature, and click the delete button on your keypad. The other way to change features within a shapefile is to open the attribute table, and let's say we want to delete number 4. So we click on number 4 and we click delete on our keyboard. You can also do delete selected features. If you want to add features to a shapefile, click add feature, place, in this case it is a point feature that we will be adding. Place the point, place the information that you would like, and this is the entire attribute table for that one point that we're adding. And there's your point. Whenever you're done editing, just click Save Layer Edits. To create a new feature, what you need to do is click New Shapefile Layer. You need to specify whether it's a point, a line, or a polygon. You also need to specify the coordinate system that you're going to use. It will use the current coordinate system reference of the layer that is already on our map. You can also add attributes and then click OK. Give it a name. And then, just like any other file, we can begin editing this file. And actually, to create polygons, you need to do a right click to end the polygon. So this will be our first feature. Next, I will show you how to make a map. Making a map in QGIS is very easy. Click the New Print Composer. Specify a name for your new map. Now, when you're in Map Maker, this toolbar to your left is going to be your best friend. The first thing you need to do is add a new map, and you create a rectangle by holding in the left clicker and release. And this map is actually going to be of what your QGIS is showing at the moment. So opening it more will only show you more of the map that you have already made in your QGIS. The next thing that's very important is to know how to add a legend. So adding a legend, same thing, just make a rectangle and it'll make you a nice legend. And that shows my feature and the symbol associated with it. Then you can add a scale bar. If you want to add a title or other labels, click the Add New Label, generate the box, and you need to go into this browser that says Item Properties. You can change the title of that. You can change the font color, the font size and type, and many other things with that label. To move around the pieces of your map, you need to have the Select Move Item selected. This way I can move around the map, the title, I can stretch and shrink things. To save your map for printing, you're going to want to export it. This we will export as an image. We'll save it somewhere that we can find it again. And let's take a look at that image. And there's your map. By the way, this is a very poorly made map, I know. Whenever you need to add a base map or an image, these are called raster layers. This map that we created in this tutorial is a type of raster image, a JPEG. We can actually add this to our map two ways, very similar to adding a vector. You can either add it through the browser or through add raster layer. We'll just do it through the browser. And give it a spatial reference.